Hello and welcome to what I believe is episode 7 of me building R2D2. Today is January the 25th, so it's less than a week away to the comic convention that I was hoping to have this fully finished for in order to take to. Well, I've had to sort of admit to myself it's not going to make it. I probably could get a rough version of it done, but I'd have to cut too many corners, too many compromises, so I'm just not willing to do that this time. So I'm just going to take a few more weeks to sort of try and get all the little bits and pieces done. Now, what I do want to look at in this video is basically putting together the whole Lazy Susan and the gear mechanism so the dome can rotate. I have had a few problems making the dome, which is probably why I've decided I can't finish it on time, but I've certainly got enough that I can demonstrate how it all comes together. So there's always a lot of questions about which Lazy Susan to get. The answer is I don't really know. I've done 2 Astromechs before, and this is pretty much the Lazy Susan that I have bought, which has been a cheapy one off eBay. Yes, there's plenty of others to go at. I haven't used them, I haven't bought them, so I can't really comment. What I do know is I've had one of these in my R0, which has been working for quite some time now, with no real problems. The only issue I think I've got with it is it only has 3 outer holes. It seems to fit okay. I could, if I want to, drill a few more, and I may just do that. It depends on alignment. So one is this Lazy Susan. There'll be a link below to the list of things that I've already purchased. The other thing I've bought is this 24 volt. Now this is a 500 RPM. A lot of people do say you should go for the 300, but at the time there was just none available. That was going to come in time for me to have it done this week. And I've also gone something a bit different. Many people use the Siren motor control, which is about £50. I've just decided to try this, which works out about £6.50 each. I plumbed it in yesterday. It seems to power up, but whether it'll move the entire dome, I don't know. I actually bought these for a different project that'll be coming probably in a few months' time. I just wanted to test them because they can handle 43 amps and up to 24 volts, well, 27 volts. So they should be powerful enough to sort of handle it. But I'll go through these steps as we go along. So let's go over to the droid and start looking at how these items layer together. Okay, so I've got the Lazy Susan. This is basically going to sit kind of onto here. Now I've already gone through it and removed all of the, well, some of the little bungs, which I'll probably do as an insert video now. So I've removed the little bungs, and it's just going to sit onto there with the spacers. So you should have got some little space that you can put between the bolts. For now, I have just left a few of them on, a few of the little things that it's already got to sort of sit. So we can see there's all these little slots. So really you could put, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you could put 6 bolts through. For now I'm just going to leave it with the 3 and I'll see how it performs. I can always come back and modify this. So step 1, if I just stick this through and I put a spacer on. Oops. So I've got the bolt, put a spacer, slide that through. I should of course do the other spacers, but again I'm just demonstrating for the moment. So now that one's just going to slot through there. This one on this side. And it's just a case of just trying to persuade it until it's in a nice neat place, and then we can put some nuts on from underneath. Again, I'm just demonstrating for the moment. So that's our first layer, that's fastened to there, and then the dome's really going to be fastened to this bit. So now we've got our dome gear. Currently this is not glued because again I'm still just experimenting a little bit, getting alignment right. This is just going to sit on the inside bit. So again you can see we've got the holes. So what I should really do before I've done this is put some countersunk bolts up and through. But I'm just going to line that hole up. So again, I should probably have fastened this all in while it was actually not on. But again, I'm showing this for demonstration purpose for the moment. So now we can see we've got the outer Lazy Susan sat there nice and on. This bit's what's going to rotate. So next stage, is this is the dome ring that goes inside the dome itself. So if I just grab the dome that I'm not particularly happy with, so I've got the dome, however, got the lower rings. So if you've not already looked at these files, the dome basically bolts onto there. So once it's bolted in, you've got the dome. So what this bit does is this bit fits inside. It's got some little feet, so we could put some we should put a magnet just there, a magnet just there, do it all the way around. So when you come to want to put your dome on, you should be able to sort of guide it in. It'll just click into place. The magnets now hold it down, and now when you put your drive motor in, this is going to turn the whole dome itself. So that's really it. Because obviously once that's bolted on, you've now got your dome that should just lift on and off nice and easily. So these squares here are for the mag tags. If you want to put some electrical connectors that are going to come up through here into there, then when your dome fits on, the wiring connects, but that'll be a much later video. Now if you're wondering like I was what these are for, it's basically you can do some optional extras, extra brackets and wire and things if you want to. But for now, that's basically how that whole thing fastens together. I've just took it back off, squeezed it in, you can see it's fitting nice and flush. The reason I'm just dry fitting at the moment is I don't know if the gearing system is going to fit perfectly. I'm sure it will, but until I've seen it all fully working, I don't want to put anything too permanent in just now. But right now we can see it's a very nice snug fit, and I think it'll be just fine as is. But of course I will at some point put some countersunk bolts in that will come up into there, put some nuts on top. So the next step is to have a look at the motor system for it. Okay, so I'm at the bench. I've already soldered just 2 wires. Now there's a possibility these wires aren't actually going to be thick enough core, so when I do my test I will keep a track of this, have a look and make sure there's no melting or getting too hot. But just 2 wires that I think I've measured that will go from this bracket down to where my control board is going to live. So again, I might have to come and adjust these later on. There's no crimping on these at the moment, so I'm just going to slide this into the motor bracket. I've just got a couple of bolts to put in. I'm not putting all of them in because that's just going to like jinx it. If I put all in, you can guarantee I'll have to take it back out. Okay, so there's 3 bolts. It should be enough to hold it. So I've got the gear. I've also got, I forgot what this is called. I'm just going to put that on. But the idea is, if your gear wears out, this actually reduces how fast it wears out. And then you can just replace the gear a bit easier. And for now I'm just making sure it's just sat flush with the axle. I might need to adjust this later on. Again, that's the reason I'm not putting everything in place, because I'll probably take it apart to tweak later. And again, some countersunk screws. And again, I'm only putting 2 in, just enough to sort of prove everything works, because then I'll probably take things apart to tweak things a little bit. Okay, so because I'm cost saving here, is that point, I'm not so expensive droid already. So I've got the motor. The motor wires are going into this little B2 controller. Again, you saw that earlier, I'll put a link below. And then from that I've got an ESP32. Now the ESP32 is just sat in a development board. Later on I'll probably make a dedicated PCB. You could use an Arduino for this, but the idea is, in a later point, I'll have my radio controls going into a receiver, the receiver wire going into one of these, and then it'll be a very simple bit of code that enables me to then control this itself. If you need something different, then obviously there's still the Padawan system or the Kyber system. I'm just trying to keep things simple in a way that I can modify and I can play with. And this is powered by the same drill battery. So I've already tested this bit of code. I'll share this code on screen in just a moment. So this is basically it. This is the motor controller. You don't have to worry too much about this for the moment. But this is the motor controller. You can see I've got the motor connected to this side. I've got the battery, which is the drill battery, the same as the drive battery, because it'll be sharing signals coming into this. This can handle the voltage. I've then got the 2 pins. So this PWM, that's basically, you could technically put this onto a receiver. I've just not tested that yet and see how it works. I'm sure if you've got a configurable transmitter, it might work. I'm just not going there right now. So it's a PWM, pulse width modulation, just the same as normal RC gear. The EN is enable, meaning, yes, let's turn this on and off. So you could put some code in to shut the actual system down. I don't know what they are, I'm ignoring them for the moment. And then I've got voltage and ground. So this voltage is 5 volts. Do not think about putting your battery voltage to this, you'll blow it up. So basically yesterday I quick tested this bit of code, which is I'm setting this to pin 25 and 26 of my ESP, then pins 32 and 33 to enable it. This is just setting the pin modes to be outputs. If you're new to Arduino programming, please feel free to go and check out my other videos. I'll try and put a link just here. I'm not very good at that though, never seems to work for me. Otherwise I'll put a link below. And then this is just turning our enable on. So we're making sure that our motor control will work. I've got a simple loop, which is just going to set our motor turn right to 150. So max is 255. So this is going to be about half speed. It's going to do this for 2 seconds. Then it's going to stop the motor, wait a second. Then it's going to reverse by making sure that should just be 10, and turn to the left rotation to 150. 2 seconds, then stop. Wait a bit, repeat. So this is just a bit of test code. Like I said, in a future video I'll show you how I'm going to link it with the RC, and of course I'll provide the code anyway if you want to follow what I'm doing. So let's go back over to the bench. So right now, if I was to plug this in, this is giving power to the system, to half of the system and the actual motor itself. But this needs to be powered by its own system. So I've got a USB cable. This is just plugged into my PC. So it'll probably bing bong when I plug it in. There we go, it's straight on. So we can see, should we be able to see that? So we've got a bit of a spin, bit of a spin. So hopefully this should be enough to move the entire dome. Okay, so let's go and try and fit this. Okay, so it did take me a bit of playing with this to realise you've basically got to brute force it on. Go. So we've got a bit of sliding movement, so we can adjust this once the dome rings on. So this is just some of the M470s that I bought for the ankles. So I can just slide those in. And then you can get them from the bottom. I think we just put a normal nut under there. So I'm just putting some M4 nuts underneath to hold it in place. We're going to need to find some better sockets for this. Okay, so I've basically put just sort of 3 bolts in to hold it in place without the spaces. Again, I'm just trying to get a feel for things. This can now be moved up and in theory locked in place. But you can sort of see now it's skipping a bit because it's not held in. There we go. So we can see the gear is going to drive it now. I'm not going to power it up while my hand's in there. That, as said, is where you would now put this bit on. And once we power it up, it should kind of move it. So let's see what we can do. Okay, so that pretty much shows us how the whole sequence of the layers of the dome go. Now I was hoping in this video we were going to see the full dome on it, but I've had a few problems. Now I did print the whole dome shortly after I finished the body and the legs, basically towards the end of December. And what I decided was to use the PETG that I'd bought back in episode 1, in video 1, where I wasn't happy with the quality. But I played with the settings, experimented a bit, I had a few nice prints, so I went for it. But again, I wasn't happy with the general finish. I thought it's going to take me a lot longer to buff out and sand and filler, so I basically ditched it. And that's where I then printed, again back to PLA Plus. The finish is really nice, but I seem to have basically messed up. I don't know if you can see on camera, but I've got this big gap. I obviously didn't get the joint properly. I mean, that really stands out just there. It looked great when it was on the desk in its 2 halves, and I have filmed myself cleaning it all up and starting to the gluing process. I may show that in a future video, but again, there was problems there, and I don't know if it's me, my printer. It's certainly not the files. The files are really good. So the other thing is I wasn't originally going to make the complex dome. I don't really need to, because I have an aluminium dome. I have an aluminium dome which I bought quite a few years ago. That was supposed to go on my Mark III build, because a few years ago, 10 years ago nearly, I started a Mark I R2, which ended up being a mixture of Mark I and Mark II. And then I wasn't happy with the quality of it because I didn't know what I was doing with 3D printing. So I moved over to the Mark III, and I bought this dome because I always wanted that proper metal finish to it. But then while I was building the Mark III, Book of Boba Fett came out and I saw R0 playing the drums. So I decided I want to build that. So this dome just got basically put to the side, and I made the R0 instead, probably pictured here. And I've continued to build on that, and hopefully that will be done at some point this spring. I'm still working on it, but for now, I probably will go back to this. So I'm still trying to decide whether I want to try again with the Mark IV dome, whether I want to try and fix this one or print one again, or go back to the PETG. I've not decided yet. I'll probably cover that maybe next weekend, because I'm going to have a play, continue through the week tinkering with it and see if I can salvage it, or see if anyone's got any advice. But either way, in the end, this R2D2 will have this dome itself. But I would like to play with the Mark IV dome. I'd like to play back with the servos, hopefully learn from that before doing it on this one, because it's much easier to reprint a dome than it is to replace an aluminium one. So before I leave it for today, the other reason why I decided not to try and finish this before next weekend is, while I've sort of got the dome gear in, that dome's basically fought me a little bit. If that had gone perfectly, I'd have stood a better chance. But I still need to make a holder for the electronics to make sure everything's secure. I need to put a fuse into it. I need to put a kill switch in there. I need to put voltage regulators in to make sure that the 18-volt drill battery is only giving 5 volts to the motor controller. So this is all just little things that are 5 minutes here and 5 minutes there, but they add up, and they're the things that I don't want to rush, because I don't want to let the magic smoke out and have to then order and replace parts, because that'll put me even further behind. Sorry, box is falling. And yeah, I've still got to fit the servos for the utility arms. That's the reason why I'm using the ESP, because the ESP will not only control the dome, but it will also make the utility arms move. And again, the ESP is just £2 or £3 to buy, and I can program it so I can get just the right angle. I can play with it, and don't worry, for those who are not comfortable with code, I'm quite happy to share what I do or make recommendations to maybe move over to the Padawan system. But either way, in the next session, I will probably be looking at making that control board. Hopefully I've got a dome to actually put on, and we'll look at how it all fastens together, and then I should have a driving, rotating dome. But that'll probably not be next weekend, because I will be at the con, so it'll probably be 2 weeks from now. But okay, so thank you for watching. As always, a nice like, a positive comment is always appreciated. I'll see you in the next one.